Lots of authorities said to be raiding 2 homes linked to the suspect in the shooting at that ICE facility in Dallas. Happened right on our watch just about 24 hours ago when we were covering that news in real time. The FBI saying he scrawled the phrase anti-ICE onto one of his unused bullets. The mayor of Dallas is Eric Johnson. He's with me now. And sir, thank you for your time. My best to you, your community. We were listening to your words yesterday and I thought they were very well received. So thanks for coming back today. Let's try and dig in here, okay? Texas Democrats are pointing blame at your governor and the president when they said the following: the Trump administration and the governor must stop stoking the flames of division, hate, and anger to exploit people's fears for political gain. Now, I heard you at the microphone. What do you think about a comment like that?
Well, I think it's unfortunate, and I think it's inappropriate and it's inaccurate. The reality is we have a problem in this country right now with political violence, and I think if we're honest about that, we can look back 5 years ago and we can see when Democrats started the process of vilifying law enforcement during the Defund the Police movement to appease Black Lives Matter activists. They started talking about local law enforcement being as big a threat to our safety as actual violent criminals. You know, rapists and murderers were being, equated with police. And then you fast forward to Trump's election, and they did the same thing. In order to appease pro-immigration activists, they started to equate ICE with the violent criminals in our community, some of whom are here illegally, and trying to create this false equivalency. And now you're starting to see people acting on that. I think we also see that there's increasing tolerance for political violence as a way to bring about policy change, particularly on the left. And so I think that confluence of events is leading to unfortunate events like yesterday, and if we don't do something about it, this won't be the last one. So I just think it was very unfortunate.
Yeah, there's a clear trend emerging. I know you're well aware of it. When we first met you several years ago, you were a Democrat. Now you're a Republican. And now we're trying to understand who this 29-year-old individual was, 29 years old. It's been reported that 2 homes were raided. It's been reported that he lived in Durant, Oklahoma. Can you confirm that?
I cannot, and I would say that what I want to do is to allow our this is actually an FBI investigation. I don't know if people are aware of that. This is not being handled by the Dallas Police Department. It occurred at a federal facility, so the jurisdiction is the FBI's. And I want to make sure that we are not getting conflicting information out there to the public. I want to be very respectful of this investigation so that we actually figure out what really happened yesterday and whether or not this person is acting alone or in a conspiracy with others. We don't know.
Right. Yeah. Do you know if he did? Did he act alone, or was he talking to other people?
Again, this is an FBI investigation, and I want to let them report on the facts as they discover them and as they feel it's appropriate to divulge those to the public. So just to not jeopardize anything that they're doing at the investigation, I just want to refrain from speculating on any of that type of thing.
Do you know when the FBI is going to tell us things? Because we're still waiting for answers in Utah. We're waiting for answers in Minneapolis from a month ago. Heck, we're still waiting for Butler, Pennsylvania from last summer.
Yeah, I actually don't know what the FBI's timeline is on releasing information, but I do know this. Just yesterday, there were conflicting reports coming out about things as basic as the number of people who had been killed. And so that's the type of thing I want to not contribute to. You know, I want to focus on making sure our community is safe and making sure our community is comforted and everyone's staying calm here, and I do not want to contribute to getting in the way of a law enforcement investigation. And we need to remember that's what this is at its heart. We need to prosecute people who are involved in this type of behavior and make sure that we get justice for the victims and make sure that we are keeping communities safe. So I want to make sure I'm respectful of that.
You got it. Ted Cruz stood next to you yesterday and said your political opponents are not Nazis. That's a message we all need to hear, and if we continue to point the fingers at each other, we're not going to solve this. Sir, I respect your position. Thank you for coming on. We'll stay in touch with you and the other folks in Texas. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Bill.
All right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.